The evening had begun with a simple plan. A quiet dinner at home, just the two of them. Emma had been looking forward to it all week. She had carefully chosen the menu, prepared the table with soft candles, and even pulled out the delicate ceramic plates that rarely left the cabinet. To her, it wasn't just a dinner, it was a moment she wanted to carve into memory. Daniel, her husband, had promised her the night. No work emails, no phone buzzing with urgent calls, no last-minute plans to meet colleagues. For once, it would be only them. Emma had always known Daniel to be reliable yet busy. His job demanded much of his time, and his circle of friends, while kind and supportive, often pulled him into long gatherings that stretched late into the night. She never complained, never spoke of her quiet longing for a little more of him, because she understood his world. But tonight was different. Tonight, she hoped he would see what she had poured into creating this small pocket of peace for them both. When Daniel stepped through the door, she greeted him with a soft smile. "Something smells amazing," he said, his tired eyes lighting up as he set his bag aside. Emma's heart fluttered at the sight of his relief. "Your favorite," she replied. "Roasted vegetables with herb butter, and that bread you love. I thought we could just enjoy the evening slowly." He reached for her hand, giving it a gentle squeeze, and the warmth in his eyes told her he noticed. That simple moment filled Emma with hope that the night would unfold exactly as she dreamed. They had barely begun their meal when Daniel's phone buzzed on the table. He frowned, glancing at it. Emma watched him, silently willing him not to pick it up. But habit and loyalty made him swipe the screen. "Friends," he muttered. "They're nearby and thought of dropping in." Emma's chest tightened. This was supposed to be their night. But she forced a smile. "Do you want them to come?" Daniel hesitated. "I don't want to ruin our evening. But they haven't been here in months. Maybe just a quick visit." Her heart wavered, but she nodded. "Of course. It's fine." Minutes later, the quiet warmth of their dinner shifted into lively chatter. His friends arrived with laughter, clinking bottles, and stories from the week. The dining table once set for two now stretched to hold 4 more chairs. Emma welcomed them with grace, though her smile hid the quiet ache she felt. As the hours passed, she noticed something she had not expected. Daniel's friends, instead of pulling him away, began drawing her in. They asked about her work, her hobbies, the garden she had been tending at the back of the house. One of them, Clara, leaned forward with genuine curiosity. "Emma, Daniel always talks about your patience. How do you do it?" "I mean living with someone who's constantly busy." Emma blinked, surprised by the directness. "I suppose. I just remind myself why I married him. Love isn't about perfect schedules. It's about choosing each other every day." Her words seemed to linger in the room, soft but steady. She noticed Daniel's gaze shift toward her, his expression unreadable. The night, which had threatened to dissolve her carefully planned moment, began to reshape itself into something new. Daniel's friends weren't intruders. They were mirrors, reflecting back pieces of her heart that even Daniel seemed to have forgotten. When laughter filled the air again, Daniel leaned closer to her. "I hadn't realized how much you've been holding together for us," he whispered. His words were almost lost in the noise, but Emma heard them clear as a bell. Her chest tightened, not with ache this time, but with the tender weight of being seen. The conversation shifted again when one of his friends, Adrian, pulled out a small box from his bag. "I was saving this for another night, but I think it fits here." He set it on the table, a collection of cards with prompts written on them. "It's a game," he explained. "Each card has a question, but not the ordinary kind. They're meant to make people open up, to really talk." Emma raised a brow. "Sounds dangerous." "Or beautiful," Adrian countered with a grin. They began drawing cards one by one. At first, the questions were light. "What's a memory that always makes you laugh? If you could live anywhere, where would it be?" The answers came with chuckles, daydreams, and shared stories. Then the questions deepened. "What's the hardest thing you've ever had to forgive? When do you feel most at peace?" Emma felt her heart race when it was Daniel's turn. He picked up a card and read aloud. "Who in this room has changed you the most and how?" Silence fell. All eyes turned to him. Emma lowered her gaze, unsure of what he would say. She braced herself for a light-hearted answer, something that would keep the mood easy. But instead, Daniel's voice grew steady. carrying a weight that pulled everyone closer. "Emma," he said, looking straight at her. "I know I haven't always been the most present. My work, my distractions, sometimes I feel like I've taken you for granted. But you've changed me more than anyone ever could. You remind me of what it means to be steady, to love without conditions. Tonight especially, seeing how you welcomed everyone. Even when I know you wanted this evening for us. I don't deserve it, but I'm grateful." Emma's breath caught. The room blurred for a moment as tears threatened to spill. She had not expected this. Clara reached out, touching Emma's hand gently. "You two are lucky," she whispered. The game went on, but Emma barely noticed. All she could think about was the shift she felt in her heart. The night that began with disappointment was turning into something she hadn't dared imagine. An unfolding of truths that had been buried beneath routine and silence. Later, when his friends finally stood to leave, Adrian paused at the door. "Thank you for letting us in tonight. Sometimes unexpected turns make the best memories." Emma smiled, her heart lighter than it had been in months. "Yes," she agreed softly. "They do." When the house grew quiet again, Daniel turned to her. "Emma," he said, his voice low, almost unsure. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize until tonight how much I've been missing, even while sitting right next to you." She looked at him, her eyes soft but steady. "I wasn't angry about your friends coming. I was afraid you wouldn't notice me. But tonight you did." He reached for her hand again, this time holding it longer, firmer, as if anchoring himself. "Let's promise," he said, "that we won't wait for unexpected nights to remind us of what we mean to each other." Emma felt a warmth spread through her chest. "A promise," she whispered. The candles on the table had long since burned low, but in their place, something brighter lingered. An unspoken vow that the night, though unplanned, had brought them closer than she ever thought possible. And as Emma leaned back, her heart no longer heavy, she realized the truth. Sometimes love doesn't arrive in the form of perfect plans. Sometimes, it sneaks in through the laughter of friends, the honesty of a game, or the quiet confession of someone finally seeing you for who you are. That night, when his friends had arrived, the evening had taken an unexpected turn. But instead of ruining what she had hoped for, it gave her something far more precious: renewed love, deeper understanding, and the certainty that even the unplanned moments could become the most cherished memories of all.